Hello and welcome to the midweek edition of Trends with LJE. I am Imuna Ahoiza-Zubair, and as always, I've got two brilliant minds in the house today. Media practitioner Dr. Uchehara Ikedichukwu Chris and legal practitioner Ms. Munirat Adama. Lady and gent, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Let's jump right into it. Here are the stories making headlines across the country and raising some pretty big questions. First on the docket is the INEC sack rumor. There was a bit of a social media frenzy earlier this week over claims that President Tinubu had sacked the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu. The presidency, though, says not true. In fact, that Yakubu was spotted sharing a meeting with his management team just hours after the rumors blew up. Reacting via a post on X. On Monday, the presidential spokesperson, Daniel Bwala, said the claim was not true and should be disregarded. Also debunking the rumor was the president's special advisor on digital media and new media, describing it as fake news, stating that a development of such nature can only be made public by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. So who started it, and more importantly, why now? What do we think is the reason for this as we are gearing towards... Okay, first of all, I should say that the chairman's tenure ends this year. So really, it's weird that such a rumor is starting now when his tenure is supposed to end this year anyway. So I'm going to start with you, Munira. What do you make of this timing? Is this just noise, or could there be some sort of political play?
For me, to the extent of which I do not even trust anyone in the Nigerian government in the first place, I believe it's a form of distraction. Right. Because we're supposed to be... concentrating on things like electoral reform. Right. We're supposed to be thinking of something that will lead to a better election in 2027. Mm-hmm. And then they're bringing very trivial things. First of all, if the rumor was true, then maybe we would have been saying something else. And with all the long talk, since they have denied that it's not true, I just feel like it was a form of distraction. And there's nothing to read for me.
To what end?
That's it, to divert people's mind from important things. Because I believe that's the pattern they do in Nigeria. Once there's something important or there's something we're supposed to do or concentrate our mind on, the Nigerian government might, or anybody at all in the government, might not necessarily be me from the presidency, will just bring something to just distract the mind of the citizens. And you trust Nigerians on social media, they will go on a frenzy, like you said earlier, and keep talking and talking and forget about the major thing that's supposed to be bothering us, e.g. the verdict they gave in Peter Obi's decision just recently, not even like... far off. We're supposed to be talking about what to do to better our electoral system process, and not just this fairy talk.
Dr. Chris, what are your thoughts? Do you think... Anyway, I can't even say this. I was going to ask if this would even hit the INEC's credibility in any way, but we've had even more acrimonious situations with INEC. So what are your thoughts?
Yes, I want to take a leaf from what my colleague just said. We have lost that trust in the leadership of the country. And to buttress these points, I want to tell you that we have had so many issues like this in the past that the government and their media assistants, spokespersons came to claim that it was not true, but later it came out to be true. I want to support my argument with the issue of the former Chief of Army Staff, whom we were told is dead, and the government came out to tell us that he's in abroad. He went for health and after everything, he is not here today with us. May his soul rest in peace. He's gone, and he's dead, and he died in the country, not even abroad. So, looking at that, there is something might be fishy out of this rumor, you know. And what I can say about it again is that, being that this year his tenure is elapsing this year, and such a rumor is emanating, something is fishy, and this time we will see what will come out of it.
It's actually quite, when you drew parallel to the example that you gave, I wonder if it's similar to the whole rumor about Wike's health issue. Could there be something tied to that?
Of course. That one cannot, let's go back a bit. For such a thing, since this year, I don't think such a rumor has come out of out of Wike's issue.
Right.
People have been talking of other things he has done. No person has ever mentioned anything that has to do with
health.
But for that health issue to come up, and it was stage managed the way it was. And today, we are no more talking about it. Something is still behind it. Let me still go back a bit as well. Our president is in the business of installing, hiring and firing in his administration. Those he feels is working in tandem with his plans, and those he feels might not work in tandem with his plan, is removing and putting in. So just recently, an APC had a new head, CEO, and INEC is also an important agents of the government. Tomorrow, another person will be a victim. So INEC might be in the same train of what is happening.
Right.
So I still respect the INEC chairman in no distant time to take a bow, which has been the tradition of our government in recent time.
It has become a trend, to bring distracting subjects and then everybody go haywire and then leave the major thing.
Issue.
Because,
absolutely.
Okay.
I
wanted to say something.
No, go on, please.
One of the major problems we're having, even at the Economic Committee Research, the Economic Research Committee of LJE, we are working on electoral reform. And one of the major topics among many that we're dealing with is the fact that one of the verdicts in Peter Obi's Supreme Court judgment was that INEC could decide to upload results halfway and then decide to now do it manually. I mean, where are we going with this? This is what people are supposed to be angry about. This is what people are supposed to be asking questions about, and not just very issues. Assuming they came and they say, oh, indeed, he has been sacked, then we'll start talking about autonomy for INEC and blah, blah, blah. But for now, I feel we should talk about important things.
Absolutely.
Can I add something to that?
Please.
It is also very prominent to note as media practitioners that media can still work in favor and against. Let me still tell you that the rumor that just came out might still emanate from the media arm of the government so that maybe to distract us.
Right.
Just
most definitely.
Not to focus on the main issue of the day and still go back to, still counter that. The sole aim is to deviate our attention on what matters to us. So I am not that keeping out the government out of that rumor.
Right.
It was.
I mean, the fact that two members of the Tinubu's administration have come out to say something about it. I mean, it's not that serious an issue for the SA or new media to speak, and a spokesperson and rep should also speak on it. I mean, really. So this rumor has no bearing on anything.
It is something that came out when they don't want it to come out.
Right.
It has been prepared maybe already, waiting for...
When there are more pressing issues that they never commented on or comment on.
Speaking of pressing issues, Monday saw protests across Abuja, Rivers, Lagos, Osogbo, and other states. The Take It Back movement hit the streets, demanding a repeal of the Cybercrime Act, which many argue is being used to stifle free speech. Now, here's the kicker. Police reportedly fired tear gas at protesters in some states and even assaulted some journalists, to the point that Amnesty International is now calling for an investigation. And all of this on the heels of the so-called National Police Day. So I'm going to come to you, being our legal practitioner today. What are your thoughts? Like,
maybe
why is there such a disconnect, right, between law enforcement and public sentiment? They first of all let's recall that the police actually warned against people coming out to protest, and citizens were defiant and came out to protest anyway, and then they were met with force. in terms of tear gas, and even, they were water hosed.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Even if you're a child born today and you have never seen the Constitution of Nigeria, you will still be aware that every citizen in Nigeria has the right to a peaceful protest, as long as it's not violent or any treason or whatsoever against the state. So if Nigerian government keeps stopping citizens to come out peacefully, no matter how little, even though you say you want to protest and you just maybe you fold your arms and do like, they will still pour it here, guys. I feel like if you want to see how powerful the Nigerian police and the Nigerian forces, just bring peaceful and harmless citizens, you see how powerful they are. But take them to the main places. People are being kidnapped daily. Insecurity on the rise.
Right.
Now, I know of at least 5 persons for sure who will never, under any circumstances, travel on the Nigerian roads. And we have the same police in this Nigeria here. But where they have to flex their power is for people who are instituting their constitutional rights.
Right.
I mean, it's
Really?
I don't even need to talk deeply. You already know.
Chris, what does it say about
unfortunate.
civil rights in Nigeria? Should people be worried about growing repression? Because the issue behind the protest was people protesting against this Cybercrime Act that stifles free speech. We've had people disappeared disappeared. That's, I think, the worst that the government can do for simply stating an opinion. Thoughts?
I want to speak from the point of our president, whom I know too well, is the grandfather and father of
Protests.
Now, in his government, it's very unfortunate, and it's an aberration that all these things are happening before him. He is now stifling the voice of the people, coming from the angle of making laws that people should not protest, from the angle of stifling the media, from the angle of shutting down journalists, and all the rest. Now, what is he trying to tell us? If not the media, if not him speaking out, would he have achieved what he has achieved as the president of Nigeria today? It is because he was protesting. It is because he was doing it as if he's talking for the people. And that was what gave him an edge to be in the position he is today. Very unfortunate. He is playing the double standard, and it is not expected of a president of his kind. I am advising him to redress. He is our president, and please, they should recall him his past in the rest of his political career. They should call back some of the things he has done, even before he became the president, during the time of Goodluck Jonathan. See what he did when Goodluck wanted to remove the subsidy.
Yeah.
He protested all over the country. Today, he removed the subsidy, and no person did protest against him.
In the most unconventional way.
In the most unconventional way, when we never expected, unprepared. There was no plan. People were not ready. Nothing to cushion the impact and the effect of the removal of the subsidy. He does everything he wants. His government is authoritarian. That is what I will call it. So people protesting, and you are using the police to shut them down. You are using all the forces within your reach to shut them down.
Right.
What does that mean to us? So I am advising him, our president, please stop stifling the media and stop people from protesting, because you were the father of all protest in this country.
And the truth is, there's no law that does not have history. For example, they might, there's a reason behind the people who drafted the law giving Nigerians the opportunity to protest peacefully and not violently. You get? So even among siblings, even among friends, you cannot totally agree with someone all the time.
Absolutely.
So there will be a time that you want to speak out against how you feel about certain things.
Right.
What the Nigerian government is saying now is that nobody should talk. see something,
Say something.
feel bad,
But
and
don't say
say nothing. We cannot continue like that. As long as the process is peaceful, it means you are within your right.
Absolutely.
To say you do not see what you feel, like he's rightly said, if Jonathan had treated him like that, why they sat down for days on the street protesting against removal of subsidy, would he be where he is today, or some of the members of his cabinet?
Yeah, I don't think these people remember the parts that they've played in history.
Now, to come to think of it again, any democratic dispensation that does not have checks and balance or protest, I don't think there is the democracy there.
Exactly.
So one of the things that will make people know that, yes, we are in a democratic setting,
right,
is because they have the power to say no to this and yes to that.
Absolutely.
You know, but here, you see our president starting from manipulating the judiciary, manipulating the
Everything goes.
legislative, manipulating the people as well. So what I would do is just, the only thing different is that he is not wearing khaki.
Right.
That is just the only thing. Let him go and wear khaki and know that we are in a military government.
Even the one that wore khaki did not do this much.
Let's move on to, you said something about insecurity and kidnappings. And this brings me to this topic. The NSA head, Nuhu Ribadu, has urged families to stop paying ransoms. In a recent development, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has called on Nigerians to cease paying ransoms to kidnappers and bandits. He argues that such payments only fuel further criminal activities and complicate security efforts. Ribadu emphasized that many victims' families have paid ransoms without securing the release of their loved ones, highlighting the ineffectiveness and potential harm of this approach. Dr. Chris, do you believe that refusing to pay ransoms could deter kidnappers?
Memuna, what do you expect from a comfortable NSA? What do you expect from him, who he jumps into air-conditioned vehicle, from air-conditioned vehicle to air-conditioned house? All he does, there is comfort around him. Has he ever in life experienced kidnap experience, had a kidnap experience before? He has not. So why should you expect him not to say that? Because he's not kidnapped, neither any of his brethren or brothers kidnapped. Imagine somebody who is kidnapped and he is facing life and death. He's there alive, but he knows distant time. In a minute time or 1 hour, he will not have his life again. And you are telling him he has something the kidnappers are requesting so that he'll be freed. And you are telling him not to give her that thing to have his life. I don't know whether Nuhu Ribadu ever in his life has ever found himself in a stiff position like that of kidnapping situation, where he's advising people, somebody who is in the bush for 90 days, you are telling him not to exchange what he has for his life. And in fact, I don't see him talk like a father. Or should I say, if he has his own blood, he has his blood and water running in his body at all.
Very quickly, Munira, what are your thoughts?
The truth is, you cannot tackle a particular issue from cutting the branch.
Right.
You must address it from the root. Once the root is cut down, then everything, including the branch, the leaves, everything goes. You're saying don't pay ransom. That is not what Nuhu Ribadu should be talking about. We should be talking about preventive measures. And most importantly, maybe after the act, how to successfully rescue these victims. And not telling the families not to pay, like you rightly said, not to pay ransom. I don't understand. Like I have, for example, 10,000 naira to be able to save a family member from being killed. They killed these kidnapped victims mercilessly. These people are ruthless. And you are saying, instead of you to concentrate on preventive measure and effective rescue mechanism, you are telling me not to pay. Like, how is it the fault of the family who pay ransoms in the first place? If I don't pay ransom, how would I save this beloved person?
It's funny that he's saying that, because even the police, the law enforcement personnel tell you the victim's family that are you sure you won't just pay this money? We've had situations like
Not
that.
to, because we're on TV.
I mean, really, yeah, I mean,
Maybe not because we're on TV, not to even say something.
And
Even the
indict
government,
somebody,
they say,
but
can
it's
they
the
beat
truth.
the chest to say they have not paid ransom
they
before?
pay ransom.
Let me still tell you that why the 60 persons kidnapped in Kaduna recently, why they were released is because somebody is affiliated to a big man in this country. I remember a brother who is a deputy director in a National Assembly Commission, who is related to Kuka, Bishop Kuka, was among the people kidnapped, and that was why they rooted to release them. Otherwise, if it were to be other persons there, those guys would die there.
Not even to go far. Someone very close to me, like from my clan and all that, was kidnapped in Kaduna. The police tried to rescue, the soldiers tried to rescue. Getting close to the kidnappers, they shot and killed him. Guess where they kidnapped him from, Imuna? From his home. He didn't go to the street. He wasn't traveling. From his home. And we are hearing it from afar. It's getting closer. Instead of these people should come up with preventive measures to take out these kidnappers or even good rescue mechanism. They're talking about the ransom. That is the least of the issue. That's just the toppest leaf on the tree.
Absolutely.
Far away from the roots.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick breather, but don't go anywhere. We have so much still to unpack. Stick with us.
Is Mr. Jackson Drama Zones Nigeria Limited, the MD of Drama Zone Nigeria Limited, and also I am the Chief Creative Director of Drama Space Interior. So this company is not just a real estate firm. We deal with buying and selling and also developing. We also have a brokerage firm, consultancy firm. After buying the property, you need professionals to assist you in doing the interior, the aesthetic and sophistication of your property. We have professionals working with us that does that in this firm. We have a couple of properties out for sale right here at Dramazon Nigeria Limited. We have at Lube, we also have at Guzampe and Duboye, and also Itu. We have finish and we also have lands if you want to develop. Over the years, we've been able to put smiles on all our investors' faces when it comes to real estate investment and interior design. You can reach us at with the number on your screen, and I assure you, you will never regret it. German's Homes, we're building sustainable portfolio. Thank you and God bless you.
Welcome back. The program is still Trends with LJE. And now here's one that got folks talking online and off. Progressive Governors Forum, the PGF, paid a visit to former President Buhari in Kaduna, where they had a closed-door meeting with the ex-leader. And it was tagged a solidarity visit. But solidarity for what exactly? Dr. Chris, thoughts?
What do you expect of somebody who has been out of government and he has been out of train for a long time? And his colleagues feel like, okay, let's give him a sense of belonging. That is what I see in that area. Buhari has been out of the scene politically. So for them to call him into the scene and give him that sense of belonging.
No, wait. Do you really believe this? Or could it be that Buhari is still pulling the strings?
He's not.
Silently.
For all I know, Buhari is not pulling anything. So I have just said earlier, they want to give him that sense of belonging. What has he to offer politically? Somebody who gave us the foundation to where we are today. So what is he going to offer? So if I am to say, they just want to give him that sense of belonging, and they have done that. So that's all I can say about that.
Okay. Moving rapidly along to the Labour Party crisis, which has become a full-blown family feud as matters continue to escalate despite a Supreme Court ruling affirming a new chairman and nullifying the leadership of Julius Abure's National Working Committee. Abuja is holding his own National Executive Council meeting. And in the same vein, party bigwigs Peter Obi and Governor Alex Oti of Abia State have jointly summoned a critical NEC and stakeholders town hall for today at the Transcorp Hilton in Abuja, a meeting being hailed as a possible turning point for a fractured party. Some are calling it a make or break moment. Munirat, I'll come to you. Thoughts?
For me, this Labour Party crisis, I have two things to say.
Right.
One, a house that is divided against itself cannot even stand as an opposition party. And two, he who wants to come to equity must come with clean hand. If you're saying that you are not happy about what is happening in the Nigerian scene, you want to be the opposition party, you want to come to take over the government for you to make Nigerian better, you cannot even make your house better.
Right.
How can you make Nigerian better?
The matter is escalating.
It's escalating.
What is really the
what
problem?
is really happening? And it brings me to think, is something happening? Are they using some persons to cause division, judging from how far Labour Party came to bringing down the ruling party?
Right.
Are you sure some hanky-panky,
Like conspiracy.
Yes, it's not happening there, and they're using one person to make sure they hold down this party so they'll be divided? Because, of course, even right from the time immemorial, even from the days of the Bible, we know that a house that's divided against each other cannot stand firmly.
Interesting. Moving quickly along to Bauchi, where the EFCC has charged, I don't even know if I want to talk about this because it's just another corruption case in the headlines. The EFCC has arraigned the Bauchi State Accountant General, Sirajo Mohammed, in the Federal High Court in Abuja over an alleged 8.3 billion naira fraud. He was charged alongside a Bureau de Change operator, Aliu Abubakar, and his business. Others named in the case, but still at large, include former Bauchi SSG, Ibrahim Kashim, and the current SSG, Aminu Hamayo, and 3 others. The charges involve money laundering and diversion of public funds, as well as criminal breach of trust. Dr. Chris.
Muna, I don't know how you people feel about...
Like you see, I had to pause before even reading this.
When you people when you read the billions, people steal.
8.3.
Yes, people steal.
Ah.
You know, this is madness. What I will say there is this. These guys, for me, I'm not praying they should go scot-free if found guilty, but we have had cases like this.
Right.
And nothing happened.
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
So this is one of them as well. You know, it is assumed that after making the rounds in the media, in a short while, we will not hear it again. But in any way, I will always say that let the law prevail. If really EFCC wants to work, or they have chosen to work these days, let them use the law available within their reach to do their work. And I still say it's an allegation until proven guilty. If they prosecute the involved persons in Bauchi State and they were found guilty, they should face the law.
Right.
But if they are not guilty, they will go. But I still assure myself that nothing will come out of this issue in Bauchi State.
I just want to hear 1-2 lines from you. He said something about how these cases keep happening and how the public is just like, we are already so used to high numbers like this one, 8.3 billion, and convictions that barely stick. Is there any difference in this one?
Of course, like you said, there's no difference. And like, okay, the beginning of this program, my statement at the beginning and the end of this one will be the same thing. I don't have trust and believe in these people. This one that they caught, maybe something has gone wrong between two of them.
It's funny
because
can
they
one person included somebody that is not a government official.
Can they even steal 8
Really?
point something billion? You're saying just him? It's a how do I say, a systematic thing.
Can you see?
Everybody is involved.
Is it one person's coffer?
No.
It's one person that approved
Yes.
And how is it possible?
It's just
that,
a deal gone wrong and
how
one
is
person
it
is taking the
also possible
bond.
that people that are state citizens who also work for the government are at large?
Okay, that is to tell you that there's an atom of truth in
I mean, Memona, you have answered this question for us because it's
You see
unfortunate.
not someone that told them, run away,
Right.
it's coming up.
One person cannot steal this money. That's just the truth. So They should keep deceiving themselves. When they are done with deceiving themselves and they are not ready to kill the matter, they should kill the matter. No wahala. We move. We move.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Trends with LJE. Thank you so much, Dr. Chris and Ms. Munirat, for joining me.
Thank you
Such
for having us.
insightful points that you have given. Thank you, audiences, for tuning in. Be sure to join the conversation by leaving your comments in the discussion box below. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and turn on notifications so that you can get fresh updates. I am Maimuna Ahoiza Zubair, and until Friday, keep trending, but for the right reasons. Bye for now.